Hello, welcome back to Mirror Interpretation Todorova. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Uh, Today we are 3,800. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I appreciate you being here. Yes, I saw a lot of people posted on Instagram different things where Will Smith slapped this guy, a lot of them making jokes and a lot of them don't understanding actually why this happened. So as we are medical interpreters, when we're talking about disease, I also decided to talk a little bit about this topic here and also to talk about boundaries. And what a great example is that in such an event like the Oscars, there is lack of rules and boundaries for what is appropriate to joke about and what not. So everybody probably saw this video. It's a big thing right now. Everybody's talking about it, even though it's already a week gone. I think a lot of people doesn't understand that joking about somebody's illnesses or mental or physical conditions or problems, it's bullying. Coming from Europe, seeing a lot of these out of line bad jokes, it's kind of strange. I honestly never understand this sadical thing in the American culture to laugh on somebody's problems or defects. Americans do have this culture of bullying each other. I think it's come from school when they think it's funny to laugh on somebody's pain or suffering. You could see it in a low register in Europe, but I feel like this thing is less common in European culture, but I could see that here in USA. And I think one of the things that nobody talks about and nobody feels like addressing is why he slapped him. I am not a person who excuse abuse, but I saw quite a lot of comments and they all want to punish him and they'll all want to punish Will Smith for slapping this person. The Chris Rock, so called the comedian. Well, I think that this situation should be rather for the Oscars that they have to implement rules which should be obvious, that in 21st century you cannot joke about somebody's defects. This is called bullying, literally bullying someone in even in pretending that this is funny. There is nothing funny about the joke that Chris Rock did. I didn't understand why people find it funny. I didn't understand why people laugh on it. And I also understand that most of the American people that were there, they were trained by their social media, their TV, and their society to find those things funny. And it took some time for them to actually realize that this is not a funny joke. I think ignorance is not excused, and I don't excuse the jokes like this from Chris Rock. I also this other comedian, Harvey. Uh, he have a lot of bad lines there because he lack of culture. So if you want to be a comedian, I think the number one thing that you're gonna do when you make jokes on someone, it's make a little bit of a research. So I will talk now about the conditions of a Jada Smith because you probably don't know what is alopecia. I do have friends that have this problem. I met several people. A lot of people doesn't know. Hi, and thank you for watching me. So alopecia is a sudden hair loss where it's due to the immune system attacking the hair follicles. Normally, it comes on spats. It starts on spa and sometimes cause the people to lose their hair completely, 100%. So it's a health condition, it's a disease. So joking on somebody's disease, I think, um I cannot say nothing bad about Will Smith, because I think that he will become the symbol of a person who draw a line about what is appropriate. I don't think that he did something so unexcusable. And I will say why. Because if if the comedian feels comfortable enough to publicly bully or humiliate his partner like that in a form of a joke, is not excusable. It's still humiliation, it's still painful, it's still bettering. I think that the response of the Will Smith was very manly and in accordance with with drawing a line. And I think that outside of the physical slap, there was emotional and mental and psychological slap that the people doesn't understand. Even the way that he went there and punched him in the face, it was so elegant, it was so determined. They're trying to talk about his career. I think that what our society is lacking to understanding here is the fact that there is no such a thing as excusing somebody bullying a person for their physical defects or disease in public, even if this is in a form of a joke. I feel like if they punish Will Smith, they have to punish also this comedian. The second thing that nobody understand, why this comedian Chris Rock didn't press charges. Well, I think he is aware that what he did is wrong. As simple as that. Because me personally, if somebody come and slap me in the face while I'm doing this live, I don't see any reason why I excuse that. But if I'm the person who use a national TV live to bully you, diminish and humiliate you for a disease that you have, and I don't know, or I'm ignorant enough not to care about, you deserve to be slapped in the face. And I think that it's going to be a very beautiful thing if somebody try to put some rules on those grilling jokes, because this is just a sad situation where an ignorant person had a microphone and use it to give a message to the population, telling them that joking about somebody's disease is okay. I think what Will Smith should have additionally done after he punched him in the face, he should have taken his mic. He should have explained to everyone what alopecia mean, what are the consequences of this disease, and what it's like to live with that disease, and how inappropriate that was from this person. Thank you, Ibra. And saying that, I think a lot of people, because they lack of knowledge and they lack of sensitivity, I don't know if you. I live with someone in Perugia while I was in the university. I live with a girl, and she was from DC, and she was suffering from alopecia. And I noticed that there was huge amount of hair in the shower, and I was not sure what was happening. And then we had a talk, and she shared this situation with me, and she talked to me, how is that like? I live with someone that suffered this, and I know what it's like to see when somebody wakes up and just their hair drops in a huge amount. So I think what Will Smith didn't explain is how painful and devastating could be for a woman to lose her hair. This is so terrifying, and I think joking about this in such a public way, giving this message that is okay to joke with somebody's health conditions, it's a terrible thing. And that's why I think that he did a good point there. And I think he will become a symbol of drawing a line between what is actually funny and what is appropriate to joke with and what is not, especially in this type of a large worldwide scene platform. There should be a rule implemented there. So this is about the alopecia disease. I'm gonna make a short about it after that. That Jada Smith also addressed it in her Red Table. I do watch it sometimes. If you wanna check it out, I find that she's pretty interesting lady. Said that I think enough about the Will Smith and this smash that I actually saw some psychiatrists and psychologists commenting on that, even in Russia, talking about this situation, and some of them actually applaud Will Smith for standing up to protect his woman's honor. This is they find this very beautiful. I personally am not for violence, but there is a reason why he did that, and I think all the media forget to talk about this, and I think this should be the main thing that they discuss when they talk about that. Said that, we're gonna talk about your Q&A. Q&A. It's live. If you want to ask a question, whatever is watching, I'm here, guys. I have this time I haven't printed because my ink finished. I got an ink from Amazon and it didn't last very long. I will tell it lasts exactly 1 month. So if you buy an ink, don't buy it from Amazon. This is my message here. Um, I'm gonna talk about your comments and questions. I have a PDF that I'm gonna open right here. So the first thing that I wanna answer to is Mr. Roberto Larancent. Um, so I'm gonna read his comment and then I would like to clarify something about the videos that I did where I share my experience. So he comments about the video that I made for Siricom. Ioana, in a previous messages you had said that Stratus, Socio United Language were okay. Then I have heard you talk about negative things about Socio and Stratus, and are they really overall decent companies? Also, what is the best way to start as an interpreter? I have update about Siracom. Hire process is easy, but the trainings need a lot of improvement. Now, I think that the training for somebody that doesn't have any experience gives you some ideas. That's why I said the training is good. I tried to answer Miss Robert, and he said, I resigned from Siricom since the training did not match my expectations. And your videos confirmed my observations. If the company provides better training in the future, I may reconsider. Thank you for your work. I am thinking about joining, not sure yet. I will follow you some more. Okay, I want to clarify something here, not only for Roberto, but for all of you guys that watch me on YouTube. I like you to understand that my videos share and present my experience with this company. What I'm looking for in a company may be different than what you guys looking for. So for me, being in a respectful environment is really more important than how much money they pay me. So you can work for Stratus. I used to work for a company called Stratus Videos. Now the company switch. I did their interview. They used to pay me about 90 cents per minute. I probably should be killed with stones. Yes, I did provide this service, and yes, I did disconnect providing services from Stratus. And the reason why is because the way they treated me, it was not because of the money. Said that, said that, that was 5 years ago or 7 years ago. I provide services for Stratus. I did share my experience interacting with this company. For some people, this may be great experience. For some people, this may be decent. I don't want my experience to be used as a measurement of judge. Everybody have their own moral system, their own compass, their own things that are valuable to you. There is this training called The Ladder of Your Values by Matthew, this Australian coach. If you want to discover what is important for you, you can do this training. Although the training is for dating, I use it for my personal growth. So, Roberto, if that was let me check. Yes, Roberto. So what may be a decent company for me, it could be a terrible company for you. I think that starting with the expectation that the company has to train you, it's not very appropriate in this field, because if you do have those expectations, you're going to have a lot of companies that will take advantage of you. If I'm hiring you to work for me, I'm expecting you to already know what you have to do, especially in the field of the interpreting. I am not obliged to give you any training. I am not obliged to teach you how to do your job. If I'm going to buy shoes from you, I am not obliged to train you how to make the shoes. So, said that, having expectations that a company is going to train you is a little bit unrealistical, especially having in mind that you want them to pay you for what you do. So if you want to receive a good training, I'm very open to share. This is the training that I will address you to do. It's called Bridging the Gap. It's for medical interpreters. It's 45, 40 hours. You can get it at 100 hours for $1,200. This training, I pay 600 something, and I did it during the weekend in the university here in Colorado, in Aurora. There is a medical campus there. This is where I did this training with Asian Pacific Center. A lot of those organizations will provide you 40 hours of a medical interpreter training. Uh, so Will Smith slapped Chris Rock because he bullied his wife about his disease called alopecia. As a medical interpreter, Elham Zekri, you should know what alopecia is. And I'm going to make a short video to talk about this disease. Everybody should be more aware of what this disease is like. But said that, if you want a training, you have to pay for it. You have to be ready to pay for those trainings. If you don't have the money, there is these organizations that I do make some trainings with them, or this one, and they do some free trainings. It's called Healthcare Interpreter Network and Blue Word. There are many free trainings. Also, NBCMI, you can subscribe for $55 and they provide you access to the trainings, which I advise you. I was also subscribed yearly with CCHI. The trainings were not, it's not my cup of tea personally, because I probably have 3 master degrees and I probably know more than what these people with high school education can teach me. But if you are starting from nowhere and you don't have experience, any training could be good for you. I just share my experience. I do not find the CCHI trainings useful. This is my experience. Even the paid one are wasting of time, in my opinion. But this is because I have a lot of education. For somebody that has no education and no experience, he may find useful information there. I'm just sharing what is like for me. So, said that, if you want a company to train you, this is not exactly correct. There is a company called United Language Group. They do trainings every month, medical trainings, HIPAA. You cannot imagine the amount of the trainings that they're gonna load you with. uh, you can enjoy their working for them. I suppose if you want somebody to train you, United Language Group. I was contracted for about 90 cents there as well, but then they try to break my rate down to $18, and this is why I disconnect. And if you're members, you can see where I address this in detail for $7.99 members only, why I decided to disconnect this contract. But said that, decent company, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for somebody to give you $18 an hour for 35 hours a week, if you're looking for someone to train you and pay you little money, like right now ULG do this, United Language Group, depends what is your goals. Siracom, they don't bother much to train you. This is the fact. They just send you the book and they drop you there and then they test you. Yes, this happened to me. I was not sure exactly what they meant when they sent me this book. And then when they called me and they expected me to memorize the entire book, this is when I realized that this guy wants you to actually memorize the scripts that they send you. So I did memorize the scripts. Simple as that. And then they also had like a medical test for medical terminology. Right now, I'm not, they test you only in English, which I think is pretty easy because right now most of my clients do test me on both languages. Mm, Said that, I am gonna address your question in the chat in the end, guys. So Roman Leroux, I'm gonna answer your questions in a little bit because I'm trying to keep this live as short. The next question is from Mr. Fawad Zaidan. This is a person who wrote me on LinkedIn. Thanks for the okay, he added me on the LinkedIn. Can you tell me any OPI recruiter that would be interesting in my services, English, Arabic, OPI? Thanks a lot. Okay, so for all of you guys that are looking for work, I am not tired to repeat enough. You probably need to update your resumes. I used to work as a recruiter, and trust me, if I do the resume of someone, they get jobs beyond what they are expecting because resume is very important thing. There is a video called How to Create a Great Resume where I go in detail. You can find it, how to create your resume. There is a video I made it probably 5 years ago. So there is nothing more important than your resume. You could be an excellent linguist, but if your resume is bad, and thereby I address what the recruiter look when they open your resume. And if those things are not structured, they just close it because they have another 1,000 resumes coming. So if you're looking for work, I am not going to do this service for you, but there is a lot of videos that I talk about language works. You can check the videos called Find a Job or Get the Job. There is an entire folder where I talk about how I look for clients. David Garzan, I enjoyed this video. With all the respect, I don't think that you should refer to general group of people, labs in this case, as having low IQ, not for being fluent in the predominant language of the country they live in. Uh, no, I think this is another thing. I dislike very much when people take things out of context and try to put some meaning in there and try to accuse me of doing something wrong. So I do work a lot with people that are analphabetic. I don't know if you guys know what analphabetic is, but this is people that are unable to write and speak their own language. So let's say Bulgarian. I do provide, and I did provide quite a lot of services for people that cannot write or read. They don't even know how to sign themselves. So this doesn't mean that those people are ignorant. This means simply that they are not into this type of knowledge. And so I have met very, very wisdom and inspiring people that were analphabetic. And they have this deep wisdom, like the monk that you can go and visit in Tibet. So providing services for a lot of labs or people that doesn't write or read, it doesn't make them ignorant. I find it more challenging to work with people that are able to actually write and read, and they choose consciously not to learn English or whatever is the language in the country that they are located in. So don't take my words out of subject, please. This is not fun, and I do not appreciate making such a comments on my channel. Lore Pedila. Ella dijo bladder repair, reparación de la vesícula. Él dijo gallbladder repair o escúchame. This again for about the Spanish video. Jose, right, if you wrote the words would be more interesting. Thank you, Jose. I am working on creating bilingual training, Spanish, English, where you're gonna see everything written down. It's gonna be for sale. Me and Jose are working on that. And yes, you're going to have it written down, you're going to have vocabulary, and you will be able to get the PDF. We are working on that. So stay tuned. I understand what you're saying here. Uh, okay, this is Jose again, wanting me to write this. Cayenne Tohu, thank you so much. I'm planning on taking CCHI certification in April. One little thing, scenario is the correct word in English. Love the Russian accent. Thank you, Cayenne. Actually, this Russian, this accent is not Russian, but I appreciate your comment. I honestly, I am getting ready to take the national certification, and I am not. I'm gonna make a video, but I'm not very thrilled with CCHI way of treating you. I find it kind of shameful, to be honest with you. I personally do not recommend you doing this. Coming from my own experience interacting with this organization, there would be a video that I would publish probably in a few months that you can understand why. I personally find them very disrespectful, very rude, not responding based on my experience. Not not something that I want to experience myself again, and not something that I would recommend to anyone that I care for. Although the certification have its value, uh, but I find their way monstrous. I find their way monstrous, honestly. So I have nothing good to say about this organization, and I'm not gonna comment that. But you're gonna see the video in the future. Okay. Francesca, thank you. I enjoy the practice. Stis Snarutire. Sani Mahmandu, very informative. Thank you for sharing with us. This is about the medical video words that I suggested for you. Traveling with V. I just started my training as a Spanish English interpreter. That was very helpful. Thank you, Traveling. I hope you start working and you see that you are not missing much, or you missing much. I don't know. Florida Paluca. Anagraphic information is the personal information. That's why the Spanish girl wasn't familiar with it. In Italian, informazioni anagrafiche translated to English personal information. Sì, informazioni anagrafiche is the correct. Eh, información anagráfica también is possible to be in Spanish. Although my Spanish is kind of childish, but people do understand me when I speak Spanish. So I do have some mediocre level of Spanish, but I don't work with it because it's low paid. C. Martinez, I love your videos. You give me a chance to brush up my medical terminology. Thank you, Martinez. I'm happy you enjoy the video. Omar said, very informative. Thank you for your video. Jonathan Journeys, I was a great video and very useful. I'm fairly new to medical interpreting, so you looking for resources to help me improve. Side notes, that was my first time hearing the anagraphic. Well, anagraphic is widely used. I'm just surprised what you guys communicate with me here. But if you start working like full time from home, you're gonna hear that. Dedra Guaracha. Forgive me. Thank you so much. Los adoro. You're just wonderful. From Oklahoma. Thank you, Oklahoma, for being here. And also, Dedra said, There, Rosa. Also, in English in the hospital, when you get your paperwork to discharge, in my case, I had miscarriage and it says spontaneous abortion. So, needless to say, my fiance didn't speak English and he thought I had an abortion, which I didn't because he didn't understand the terminology. But they do also use spontaneous abortion in English description in miscarriage. Yes, they do use this. Okay. Said that, guys. This was our video talking about your comments and how important it is for you to be informed, because ignorance is not an excuse. So Roman Leroux asked me, is there a consecutive interpretation courses you may recommend? I wish I can share that I did any consecutive interpretation courses, but I have not. I started working in the circus as simultaneous interpreter during a performances in Italy just for fun, and then I started working as business to business interpreter, and I moved here working as OPI consecutive. There is a videos that I published. There is a folder called interpreting practices, and there is different recordings that you can find there that are in English, and you can just listen and interpret. There is a time you can listen the recording, and the time that you can interpret it in your target language. You can use that. Otherwise, out of those videos that I create, I haven't met or take part of any of those courses, or I don't even know if they exist. But you can share if you find one and how that was for you. I personally know that there is a lot of amount of classes that you can purchase on ATA. There are enormous amount of people that will try to sell you things. So I'm pretty sure you will find someone who will try to get your money. I am not sure exactly if how that works. I'm not sure because I never had a class like that. But if you guys watch this video so far, this live, if some of you take part of any consecutive interpreting classes, you can do that. I would advise you to, if you want to be a medical interpreter, take the Bridging the Gap training. It's explain you in detail how it's like to work as a medical interpreter consecutively. So I think this is a great class, but it's mainly medical interpreting class, and it's not like how to interpret consecutively. Um, I don't think I ever heard about anything like that. But while I was studying languages in the university, we did those practices. But most of them in the university, they teach you how to do the translation written. So that was something that I did. Said that, thank you, Ibra, Elham, Roman, Leroux, that you were here in this live, and all the others that you were here. You didn't text me, but I'm grateful for your time. I hope this video was useful, and I hope you have a great day. And I will do a live again, guys, next month for all of you. If you're members, I do live more often and I upload videos there for you as well. Thank you guys for being here and have a good day. Bye bye.